Sometimes as a host, I'm also like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how do you keep a straight face with these people? Like, they're so handsome. He did go through a period of time where he reconsidered this relationship. He was like, I don't know, I've never dated a person in entertainment. She's always around these good-looking guys.
I'll tell you a secret.
Okay.
I only dated one person throughout my 20s.
What? Welcome to today's episode of Men Explain, and we've got a juicy topic here today. Are women intimidated by attractive men? We're here to find out the differences between how men and women think. And for this topic, of course, I had to invite one of Singapore's most attractive men. It's Bobby Tonelli.
Hello.
Hello, Bobby.
Well, you're very kind with the compliment. Thank
Yes.
you guys so much. Jeez. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good. This has been the first time we're doing this, right?
I know. I only ever see you at events.
Yes.
When you're hosting, doing your thing.
Yep,
you know,
and I always see you with your entourage looking amazing.
Entourage. Okay, don't say it that way.
No, but you look amazing.
Thank you.
You're just killing it right now.
Over 10 years, I think, since I've met you.
Yeah.
What has changed since then? Like, the last time I remember you in the studio,
Yeah.
987.
Yeah, I wake up now with more pain.
Yeah.
That's what's changed.
That's
a
the
lot.
number one change.
Yeah, that's the number one change. I mean, a lot of things. I mean, because I left radio at 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And then I went on to do regional projects and TV
Yeah.
shows and hosting more events, and it's been a wild ride.
We're going to be addressing whether women are intimidated by extremely good-looking men.
Ah, interesting.
And that's why you're here.
I don't know if I can add to that conversation.
That's why.
Thank you.
We're going to kick it off with this. Do you feel like women are intimidated by you?
There was probably a time, yes, and it wasn't because of how I looked on the face-wise. It was because I was in really good shape. I'd say it was more of a confidence thing or whatever, because, you know, like, when everyone's feeling good about themselves, you don't feel as intimidated. You know, you meet people, whatever the case, and when you see these, I mean, nowadays, we see it on Instagram, everybody looks so shredded, they look perfect, 100% all the time, and it's not relatable.
But you won't really believe everything you see. There's some, you know, manipulation of photos as well,
course,
so
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, it's true.
What kind of reaction would they give you? Did
They
they
were
immediately
shy.
know
They're very
about
shy.
your physique?
Well, you can see it through a t-shirt, and then when the shirt's off, then it's different. Yeah, then you
Okay.
see, then you got, okay. I guess when you're more in the intimate settings, it can be a little
Yeah.
bit more intimidating, you know what I mean?
We might feel the pressure because we're like, wait, maybe I'm not in such great shape.
Yeah, I would get a lot of that. It was funny because a good friend of mine in LA told me this very interesting story. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Because he used to do bodybuilding. He used to be really shredded. He goes, I stopped doing that because on screen, it's not relatable to a lot of the audience. And it actually turns people off. So he goes, I want a little bit of fat. I want a little bit of softness. So still strong looking,
Yeah.
but you don't want to be too ripped.
Too defined. You know, sometimes when we're in this industry especially, right, a lot of it is focused on looks, physique. You know, I can see people being stressed, especially if you're on TV, movies. I don't know how you guys do it like all the time, but sometimes actors have to maintain that physique for months.
You.
Trust me, I eat junk food, okay? I'm wearing a giant blazer right now because I feel like a potato today. But the fact of the matter is there is a lot of pressure. My question to you would be, when you date around and you have that physique and you say some women are intimidated by it, do you expect the girl to also be so fit? I think so.
No.
But I feel like this is how we think. We'll be like, I'm expected to look that way because you look that way, and that's how we can be compatible.
There's a lot of that pressure that's out there. I mean, I don't expect it, personally for me. I do know some men that are like that, and that's not easy for a lot of people to do. I mean, we have day jobs. You want to stay healthy, you want to stay active, but you aren't going to look like, you know, Demi Moore from G.I. Jane or whatever.
all
case
the
is.
time.
Or, you know what I mean, or whoever else. You're not going to always look like that. So I can understand that perspective, and I get it. But I mean, also for guys, the same thing. We can flip it on you because I'm sure, let me ask you a question then. Have you ever felt intimidated by a guy because of his looks?
You know,
Because she's so good looking, she's going to say no.
no! To be very honest, not really. I used to maybe shy away a little bit, you know, if I find this person too good looking, because I'm not sure whether he's just overly confident and, you know, he can get like a million girls. Why would he want to talk to me? But at the same time, as I got more comfortable in my own skin and I kind of understood my character, my personality, and I let that slide. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I mean, it's cool, you're good looking, but I'm not intimidated.
And so it's really a confidence thing, right? If
It
we're
is a
confident in
confidence thing.
Yeah.
It is a confidence
If we're
thing.
confident in ourselves, we're okay to meet somebody else.
Yeah, and sometimes there are people who are not like conventionally good looking that exudes that quiet confidence, and that comes across attractive.
Yeah.
How important are looks to you in a relationship then?
There is some importance to it,
Yeah.
but I don't put everything on that because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, I have dated women who are extremely beautiful, but there was just no connection, no conversation. There was just nothing underneath. To me, I'd rather date somebody who wasn't like a model per se, but who was really interesting to talk to. You a great sense of humor, can laugh at themselves, you can go out and do things together, and that is so much more attractive. Honestly, it's so much more attractive than somebody that looks like a model. As a matter of fact, I used to model back in my day, and I think...
Yes, we know, Bobby.
I very rarely ever dated a model because I just never connected that way. I wanted real people. Get to know someone for who they are, not what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, what they do is just an icing on the cake. That's always been how my parents raised me.
Let's say take you back to your 20s. Would that have been the time where you were, oh, okay, you know, I would date more attractive or model-looking sort of women?
I'll tell you a secret.
Okay.
I only dated one person throughout my 20s. I'm like a long-term relationship kind of guy. Wow. So I was never the big serial dater.
So you weren't the player? Because people always think, oh, good-looking guy player.
My friends used to say, they call me Green Light Bobby. I needed a big green light
You're
to
a green flag.
ever go up to a girl to talk to her. I was so shy and so insecure.
You were shy?
Very, extremely shy.
I would have never guessed, Bobby, because we've never met in that kind of social setting. I've only ever met you in your confident Bobby era. Wow. Okay, I mean, now obviously you are very much in a relationship.
Yeah, a long time.
You know, you've grown up, you've matured as well, and probably...
Well, that's what they say, but as guys, we never mature. No.
Wait, what? I need to know.
We're forever 18, but guys are like that. We're very simple. Women put too much, all their other things on top of it. We're very simple creatures.
Do you think better-looking people are more difficult to approach?
Yes.
Because if I didn't know you, and if I didn't know you had this goofy, nervous, shy side to you, you might be pretty intimidating to approach at a bar. You're tall, you know, good-looking, got presence.
There is that intimidation factor, no matter what. I mean, it's probably why I didn't date a lot when I was younger, is I was so intimidated to meet a good-looking girl to say hi, because you're always afraid to come off like a sleaze bag. So I never did, you know, in that setting. In the real world of dating, no, it was very intimidating.
Some of my friends, when they go on dating apps, you know, they say it's really like a resume.
There's so much choice out there now. You can just swipe. One thing you say wrong in a chat, gone. That's it.
That next.
Yeah.
Like you're out.
Not a chance to redeem yourself, or oh, you said the wrong thing. I mean, it's got to be stressful.
Yeah.
It really, for both parties, men and women. Yeah.
But speaking of redeeming yourself, do you think that, you know, it's more difficult to get away with certain things? Like they'll just pass it off as, he's just like an arrogant, good-looking guy. He's a player. He'll find someone else, you know, that kind of thing.
Yes. They assume that I have all these options and women, and so they just like, okay, you're arrogant. You don't really care. You're really not into this. And it's like, no. I grew up an only child. I can go in my own world and stay in my own world for a long period of time. And some people don't understand that I'm actually okay by myself, chilling by myself. And so that can also be like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, you're not interested or not.
You know why? Because there's a fair share of good-looking people out there that love the attention.
I'd rather ask about you than ask about me.
So if a good-looking guy or girl talks about themselves too much or shares too much, then they're like, oh, you're so arrogant.
Oh, I'm the opposite.
You're all about yourself.
I'm the opposite. I'm like all about the other person. But that's how I get into the friend zone a lot.
I feel like, you know, in movies, in TV series, on the internet, they always give the perception of, oh, that person's settled. You know, the reacher versus settler theory, when someone reaches out beyond their league and someone settles below their league. I think that's just, you know, common in some ways where people see it that way.
I got the t-shirt. I reached, she settled.
No, with your partner?
Yeah, we had.
What? You
yes,
think so?
I reached, she settled. I see it in that way, but I wouldn't say it's always based on looks. But I mean, you can say that. I mean, there's sometimes I would be with a group of friends, guys, and they would date a girl, and you'd be like, I mean, visually they don't look that compatible. But then when you meet the person, you're like, okay, the personality's there, I get it.
Yeah.
I say I dated a couple successful people in my lifetime, but I was always it's quite intimidating as a guy. Especially I grew up very traditional where the guy's supposed to be the provider and do all these things. And especially in our industry where we fluctuate all the time, right? And then when you're trying to date somebody and they're like, okay, what do you do? This and that, and they're very successful. It can be very intimidating. Like my current partner. I mean, she was here and I'm here, like in terms of league. I was scared to date her.
You were intimidated.
I was extremely intimidated, extremely. Because of how successful she was. I mean, people were telling me, no way, no way. And actually, it was a good friend of mine, his wife, who's very successful. She gave me some very good advice. In my business, where I'm at, I have a lot of men coming to me. And a lot of attractive and very wealthy men. At the end of the day, I want someone that I can come home to, that I can trust, I can rely on. So then when I looked at it from that standpoint, I try to focus on that. And that's what helped.
But if the roles were reversed, and the guy is in that stable zone, stable career, dating a person in entertainment, it doesn't seem so difficult.
No.
Right? It really is a men versus women thing, I feel.
It depends because sometimes as artists, dating actors, actresses, models, people in entertainment, there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes along with it.
It is true. To be honest, when I first started dating my current partner, you've met him many
Yeah,
times.
of course, yeah.
He did go through a period of time where he reconsidered this relationship in the beginning,
Yeah.
and he spoke to his friends about it. So he's like, do I really want to get into a relationship with this person knowing that she's always exposed to a gazillion and one like handsome men and potential partners out there? She's way younger, you know. That to me, I felt was that moment where we had to have a very deep conversation. And how can I reassure him? I just want you to be happy. I want us to be happy. It's not about who I'm exposed to, or I don't want to date these people.
For me, the line is drawn. If I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. I'm not going to go sleep with another actress or whoever the may be because I'm working with them like that. That's not me.
In that zone, I'm in work mode. So I don't see them as like, ooh, love interest, or
Yeah.
like, ooh, like, let's date. You know, I never see it that way. Thank you so much, Bobby, for being with us.
Thanks,
you know,
Tonelli,
this
really
has
appreciate
been so cool to sit down with you and chat in a different setting.
I know,
that's
right?
not on stage, not at an event.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
sit back, chat, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no, of course. And you also have a podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I got one
Great
with a
job
buddy of
on
mine,
that.
Alan. It's called Call Us Daddy.
Yeah.
The producer named that name. I didn't. That's not my name.
No,
for me.
I know, I knew. That's
That's
what
not
Alan
me.
written all over it.
Yeah, that's totally that. But yeah, that's something new that we're doing. So you can check that out on YouTube as well.
Thanks for being with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. And one last look at these photos of Bobby. And on that note, bye.
Oh man, that image is out there online too.
Yeah.
It's gone on some of the gay forums out there. Yeah.